In a significant judgment that is likely to trigger a fresh debate on investigative agencies, media freedom, and the limits of state power, the Delhi High Court has quashed both the Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing (FIR) and the Enforcement Directorate case against NewsClick founder Prabir Purkayastha in the alleged foreign funding matter. The court used unusually strong language. Justice Neena Bansal Krishna observed that even if all allegations in the FIR were accepted at face value, the essential ingredients of cheating and criminal breach of trust were simply not made out. The court went further and described the continuation of the case as a gross abuse of the process of law. So what exactly was this case? Let's go back a few years. In 2020, Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing registered an FIR alleging that NewsClick had received foreign investment through improper means. Investigators claimed that foreign direct investment had been routed into the company in a manner that violated regulations governing digital news platforms. The Enforcement Directorate subsequently launched a money laundering investigation based on this FIR. Over time, the case became much bigger than a financial investigation. NewsClick found itself at the center of a national controversy involving allegations of foreign influence, questions about China-linked funding, raids, arrests, and eventually a separate UAPA case. In May 2024, the Supreme Court had already ruled that Prabir Purkayastha's arrest in the UAPA matter was illegal and ordered his release. Now, with the Delhi High Court quashing the original foreign funding FIR itself, the foundation on which the ED's money laundering case rested has effectively collapsed. The court specifically held that once the predicate offense no longer exists, the ECIR registered by the ED cannot survive. But beyond NewsClick and Prabir Purkayastha, this judgment raises a larger question. When does an investigation become overreach? Courts are generally reluctant to interfere at the FIR stage. Investigative agencies are usually given wide latitude to conduct inquiries. That is why judicial intervention of this nature is relatively rare. For a high court to conclude that even accepting all allegations as true does not establish a criminal offense is a serious finding. It effectively means that the legal foundation of the prosecution itself was flawed. Abhisar Sharma, a prominent journalist who was also questioned by the Delhi Police Special Cell in connection with the case, had this to say.
क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी की कोई जवाबदेही है जिसने एक संस्था को बर्बाद कर दिया, उस पर इनकम टैक्स, ईडी और बाद में एंटी टेरर सेल का रेड मार के? क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार जवाबदेह है? क्या देश के गृह मंत्री जवाबदेह नहीं है? क्योंकि आपके इन झूठे रेड्स की वजह से, आपके इस पूरी दबिश की वजह से आज कई लोग जिनका समर्थन न्यूज क्लिक कर रहा था सड़कों पर हैं, उन्हें कोई नौकरी नहीं दे रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो न्यूज क्लिक से जुड़े हुए थे। ये सरकार जिससे भी असहज होती है उस पर दबाव बनाती है, उसे परेशान करती है, उसे इनकम टैक्स, ईडी के जरिए परेशान करती है। अब जबकि ये मामला गिर गया है तो जाहिर सी बात है इसका असर स्वतंत्र पत्रकारिता पर भी पड़ेगा। मगर सबसे बड़ा सवाल, इस सरकार की कोई जवाबदेही है कि नहीं? कोई जवाबदेही है कि नहीं?
HW News, English's managing editor, Sujit Nair, had this to say about the entire case.
Actually, I'm very happy for NewsClick, very, very happy for Prabir. The whole issue stems from the fact that a person was put behind bars. A man, I think he was 73 or 74 when he was arrested. At 74, he went behind bars, and today the state and law decided he did nothing wrong. You see, the amount of turmoil that he went through, the mental pressure that he went through, the tensions that he and his family went through, for what? For a crime he didn't commit. Who is answerable to this? Somebody has to be answerable, isn't it? The state has to be answerable, the Home Ministry has to be answerable, the law and order has to be answerable, police has to be answerable, enforcement agencies has to be answerable, somebody has to be answerable. You just can't arrest a person and say, oops, aisa ho gaya kya? I mean, that's exactly what's happened. Think about it. Look at what the High Court said. I'm sure you're covering that in your program. Look at what the High Court said. And what about everything that this man went through?
This verdict is therefore likely to be cited in future cases where individuals or organizations argue that criminal law is being used in situations that may involve regulatory or administrative disputes rather than genuine criminal conduct. At the same time, supporters of the investigation may argue that courts decide cases based on evidence and legal standards, and an acquittal or quashing of proceedings does not automatically invalidate concerns that originally prompted the probe. That is an important distinction. The court is not necessarily making a political statement, it is making a legal one. And the legal conclusion is clear. The offences alleged in this FIR were not made out, and the continuation of proceedings amounted to an abuse of law. The Delhi High Court has delivered one of the strongest judicial rebukes in recent times by describing the continuation of the case as a gross abuse of law, and by wiping out both the FIR and the ED proceedings flowing from it. The bigger question is this: in a democracy governed by the rule of law, how should the balance be maintained between empowering agencies to investigate wrongdoing and protecting citizens from investigations that courts later find should never have proceeded in the first place? To share your thoughts, if you found this analysis useful, please like, subscribe, and join the HW News Network in supporting independent journalism. Thank you for listening. Or